We're going to break down the run-scoring rally by the Braves. That happened in the 6th inning. We're also going to talk about Bryce Harper, who, as we mentioned when we went through the highlight of Game 2, is off to a 6-for-11 start at the plate in the postseason when you factor in the success he had against the St. Louis Cardinals. He got a double in his first plate appearance in this one, guys, and we'll walk you through his 4 at-bats here tonight. This was a really good plate appearance. First at-bat, looked like the Phillies had an opportunity to get to Kyle Wright as early as the top of the first. So Bryce fouls off a center-cut fastball. He's crowded, and then he goes the other way and doubles. It would be his only hit of the game, however. What happened after that?
But I wanted to take you into what his head was thinking. I want to see if you can pause it right here for a second, because take me into what he was thinking at the time of going up to the plate and saying, okay, I just hit his slider. What do you think I'm going to go hunt here, right? Because there's a lot of things that happen on deck. You can be on deck and thinking, all right, I'm going to sit slider again. But as you're walking, you get that feel. Something comes into your head that you're saying, you know what? I'm going to hunt him. I'm going to hunt him for his fastball. After hitting that slider. What goes through your head if you're thinking that situation after a slider?
Well, for me, I really thought that he was really hunting fastballs all game. From the first pitch of the day that he saw was fastball down the middle, and he took that huge hack. I mean, like, it looks like he was sitting dead red fastball. He got a slider away in the at bat, and he said,
he just kept going with it.
I'm gonna take my double. You know, we all have those. Like, I'm gonna take it.
So we're going into the second at bat right here. First pitch heater. Now you're saying, okay, game on, right? Game on. Here we go. First pitch heater. Now we go. 1-0. I'm sitting heater again. 2-0. Take me to that 2-0. It's daddy time, right? This is my time, Harper time. 3-1, misses that heater. Now, that 3-2 heater right there, that's the heater that I felt like, man, because we were talking about, I was like, Jazz, he just missed that ball by a hair.
All fastballs, Bob.
All fastballs.
6 heaters.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, when you're looking at him, he's 6-for-11, but he's still, I know there's another level there of Bryce Harper. Yeah. Like, I always feel like, when he's making outs to left center on heaters, he is that click away from turning those 2 seamers, which by the way, Wright had a good one today, to turn them into right center homers. So he's getting close. Now, that third at-bat, after you know that you hit the slider for a double and you just saw all heaters, you're about to go face A.J. Minter, and you know what he's going to throw you. He's a fastball guy with a little slider. What are you looking at if you're going in there?
Fastball.
I'm gonna go hunt. I'm hunting fastballs all day long, and it's me against you. Now, I like the swing. I know he just missed a homer, and we can roll it through it, but that was a really good swing, as you can tell. Now, his outs on fastballs weren't to left center. Now they're more to center. He's getting so close to having a 2-homer game or a big game where he's 3-for-4 with a bomb, couple RBIs. I really like what I saw from Harper. I really like the feel of, like, what happens coming into the dugout. Everything slows down for you when you're on deck, walking into home plate. You go into a different mood of kind of like you're playing a movie, for instance, right? Like, you might be here and you might think something. Once you step in that box, it's a different animal out there. I like what I'm seeing from Harper.
I mean, with me, I know you know it as another lefty hitter who loves hitting homers, right? For me, I would say, you know that feeling when you just miss that fastball and you're just like, oh my goodness, like I just need to stay inside of it a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what happened with Harper tonight. He didn't trust himself to stay in, like, take it to that way. You know what I mean? He's trying to stay inside of it, keep his barrel on it, stay through it. And I feel like that's what happened. We all have those times. You fly out to left center field, but you get it on the barrel and you're just like, I just had to turn a little bit.
You know what?
Turn it.
I love that you said that, too, because a lot of times in September, when he wasn't coming, like when he was getting off the IL, he was rolling over a lot of balls. His outs weren't that productive. You know this better than I do. Where do you like your outs? You like your outs warning tracks from left center to right center, and he's doing that right now. Matty V, this guy is about to get loose. I know he's 6-for-11. He's out of a good series.
It's going to be scary.
But he is about to get loose.
I'm with you. Let's talk about the other big moment in this game, and that was the ground ball to Rhys Hoskins at first base off the bat of Matt Olson. You played first base.
Yeah, man. I want to go into first base, man, because
you know what we
Jazz,
heard?
you can come in here and help me out as my second baseman.
You know what was interesting, too, is in Rob Thompson's post-game presser, he talked about, and he certainly didn't want to critique or criticize one of his favorite guys. Everybody loves Reese. However, he said that's probably not a ball that he should have been on the side of. What exactly was he talking about?
Jazz, first of all, Matty, I think that was great, you know, by looking at it from the manager's perspective. But I want to go into the details of first basemen. And I learned this at the University of Miami. You can play in 20, 30 different stadiums, right? You're going to play throughout your career. So I wanted to know, hey, give me a standard base of where I need to be at first base. And I had a rule. Mine was 6 steps, so I would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I know it's a miniature field, but you get the idea. Right. And then I would take 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where I played anywhere I went. It was 6 and 7 feet. That's it. 6 steps to my right, 7 steps to my behind me. That was a normal rule. Now, if I felt like it was a lefty, I would take 2 steps. If it was a righty, I would take another 2 steps.
So Matt Olson's a lefty, right?
I was taking 2 steps.
You're in there, okay.
Yeah, that's me. And I'm always in communication with him. He's the guy that I got to lean towards at all times. So me and him, we're best friends. We got to be hip to hip. And I guarantee you that's what happened. Like you mentioned when you said, hey, man, I think he gave him the slider sign.
Right.
And he kind of leaned this way as the ball was coming. It took a different hop. But for me is, if I know where I'm playing, if I know my field, if I know it's a little wet out there, I got to understand that I have more room. You got to know it's Matt Olson hitting the ball. You're going to have more time. And I think that's what happened. He got caught up a little bit. When you're diving this way like this, I feel that's an easy way of just making an extra hit, as we can see right there. It's just a bad move. He went left instead of going right. It skipped on him a little bit. He was a little late. But again, this happens throughout a game. The game is so fast, Jazz. You know how it is. Take me through that and what you thought about it.
I mean, you got Segura over at second base, who's a really good defensive second baseman, and I've played against Segura a lot in the past 3 years to know that he talks to his infielders.
Yep.
They talk a lot out there.
Yep.
So, and I try to learn from that. You know what I mean? I have Miguel Rojas up the middle. We always talking. So with me, I would say we got Zach Wheeler out there, and we got a great hitter, a guy who makes a lot of contact in Matt Olson.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Olson, we have all the numbers on him. You throw the slider, you have the changeup.
He's going to hit it probably this way.
He's going to roll over,
right?
Right? Especially if it's a great one. And Wheeler was on. You know what I mean? He was pitching great tonight. He was hitting all his spots. It was a great slider. And, I mean, he gave him the little or whatever we do.
Hey, slider's coming.
Hey, off speed's coming. Be ready.
Yeah. And a lot of times,
like sometimes
guys want that.
You shift over because me, I'm like you said, we're hip to hip. So if I told him to move over,
we're shifting.
I'm moving over with him. Like if I tell you, hey, slider's coming, that means if you jump that way, I jump that way. I don't even know if you could see it. But if you watch the video,
they both jump
over at the same time.
Yeah, I think, Matty, I think that was just a crazy situation. It happened really fast. The field was very fast as well. There was a lot of mud on the infield as well. It was hard to get a good grip on it. I guarantee you come tonight, he's going to learn from this, and sooner or later, he'll get in front of that ball because that run is never going to score again on his watch.
I mean, those are 3 runs from a team that scores a lot of runs with 2 outs, as we talked about, but think about how that went down. 2 out hit batsmen, a rare walk from Wheeler, and then a weird play on a sloppy track, and it all kind of converged into 3 runs and a win for the Atlanta Braves.